Hey, Bill here with 30 Minute Woodshop. Thanks for joining. So today I want to show you how to put together a Rockler, it's a rock steady shop stand. Now normally I do these kind of things myself, build them out of wood, but at some point you just can't do all that kind of work yourself. So this is pretty much bolt and go. All right, super easy to do. By the way, I also got the swivel casters. I think I picked this up for 119 and this was for like 49. And of course there is Michigan tax on that. So, but and I did pick up some Milwaukee impact drivers. So I can use my impact driver on this whole project. But let's get this thing opened and see what's inside. So we have instructions. Of course, the Rockler logo, we need to put on that. Rockler does some pretty good stuff. 2 pages, pretty easy to do. And all the obligatory safety warnings. Don't drop it on your foot. Make sure that your joints are tight. And that kind of thing. So, let's see what's actually in here. I got my 1, 2, 3, 4 cross pieces. I got 4 legs and 4 cross pieces, and then a couple of end pieces here. Cool. Well, let's start assembling this thing. Okay, I don't normally read the directions. Am I right, guys? We don't normally do that. But I did in this case because I wanted to see what their recommendation was in terms of putting on the feet. First thing it says, put on the levelers. Now, I'm not using levelers. I bought a set of casters for this because in my shop I don't want things stationary because I'm dragging something around all the time. But it does say put the levelers on first. So what I'm going to do is exactly that. I'm going to start with the feet. And these are pretty straightforward. I don't want to be dumping my all my nuts and screws out. That'd be a disaster. So they basically have a 3/4 inch flange nut here. Okay, that's one. Let me get the other one on, do a little more work here. The next step they want to do is put on the flanges. So, I don't know if you can see these here, but there's a number of these square punch outs that are designed to fit these short carriage bolts. So what I'm going to do here is I'll start out. And they're not right-handed or left-handed, by the way, which is good for me because I'd probably mess it up. Okay, first one's done. Let's do the other side, and I'll be back. right, one thing I failed to mention earlier is that you need to square everything up, because this doesn't square naturally because of the way the joints are set up. So before you finish your assembly and tighten everything, make sure everything's square. Now we're ready to put the cross pieces in. When you're doing cross pieces, just make sure that the 45s match. And then it's a matter of bolting and squaring, and then you're good to go. Well, there we go. Let's get it on the ground and take a look at it. Okay. Rolls nice. Looks good. Maybe a little high when I get the top on it. I did not buy the actual top that goes with this. I'm going to make my own. So that's the next thing we're going to do here. I'm going to start showing you guys how to do that real quick. Let's get started on the top. Now, I got a couple of 2x8s here, a couple of 2x6s, and I think that's going to be enough for the top that I want, which this turns out to be like 24, this is actually 24 and a quarter at the moment, but 24, right? And I've got these cut to 42 inches, which should be good for the purpose I'm doing them for. Now, the next step I have to do to these things is I need some jointing. I've jointed these boards already, but I need to joint these. And I'm doing that so that when the two pieces come together and glue, I have two very smooth, very solid edges. All right, so let's go over to the jointer. So the jointer is one of those specialty tools that, quite frankly, you don't really need it for most people, 99% of the people. I have one because I do a lot of stuff, a lot of edging. So what this does basically is you can hold a piece, in this case, flat on the surface or butt it up against it if you want to make an edge that's 90 degrees, perfect 90 degrees. Or you can also adjust the, in this particular one, you can adjust the angle so you can get angles too. Great for doing thick 45s. But this is a 6 1/4 inch joiner. It's got a nice spinning blade here. Spins at about 6,000 RPM and takes a bunch of wood off. Right now I got it set for a 32nd of an inch. So I love this thing because when I'm doing edging for, like for instance this case, it's very easy to drop it on here, run it a couple times, and I have a nice perfect edge. The other way to do it is to take it over to the table saw, okay? Now there's a lot of guys that say, oh, you can't do that, oh my God. Not true. All you're trying to do is get a straight edge, and it's really easy to do on a table saw. It takes a little more work than it does with a jointer. A jointer works very quickly. The table saw you have to do a little finicky playing around with, but in the end you get the same thing. It works really well. So I'm going to be using this. You guys can use a table saw or whatever works for you. Or a hand plane. Hand planes work great too, by the way. So let's crank this puppy up. And there you go, it's that quick. Everything's jointed. I got my clamps ready to go. Now all I want to do is want to put some glue on, do a little bit of a rub joint. And I am depending 100% on the glue to hold this thing together, all right? The reason being is a couple. I'm not going to, this is supported all around, you know, it's fully supported, so I'm not looking at putting anything too heavy on this thing either. It's just going to be, it's going to hold up my 1632 Performax Sander. And that's pretty much a stationary tool. Once I get it on here, it's not moving around. I'm not beating on this. The glue will be absolutely fine for this. So if you all know what a rub joint is, basically throw it down, put it together, rub it back and forth to spread the glue. And there you go, it's that easy. Now a lot of times on a rub joint, you just rub it and leave it. In this case, I'm going to be clamping these. And all I'm doing here is just to make sure that these joints are level. Yep, there we go. We'll let this dry for a couple hours, clean off the glue, and we're ready to go. Okay, we're out of the clamps. Now all I want to do is I want to hit this with, what I have here is my own homemade bullnose plane. All right, this is nothing more than an aluminum framed Buck, all right, Buck Brothers plane. And what I did is I didn't want the block plane, so I just basically carved off the front of it, rounded it off, and the blade sticks out, so I use that to peel off things like the little glue spots. So come on here, I'll show you how this little thing works. So what I have here, I'm going to knock all these little glue nibs off with my level of bull nose plane. All right, what I did is I just took a Buck aluminum frame Buck plane and just cut the front end of it off. And it knocks those glue beads off really easily. And there we go. Now, I'm not even going to bother doing any sanding on this thing. I am going to use the router to route over the edges, though, because I don't want the sharp edges. And then I think we're ready to go. So I finished with the round over. Now I got these sharp corners and edges here. This is why I use this tool. Milwaukee makes some great tools, and this thing is absolutely perfect for doing this stuff. All I'm going to do is take off the corners and make it nice and soft. Just that fast. I could do it with some paper, but it's easier to grab this, hit the quarter, and it's done. All right, I have the frame flipped over on top of the bench top. Yeah, I could try and drive it from the bottom, I understand, but this is way easier for me to do. I'm not bending over, which, you know, I don't like to do. So all I'm going to do is take some, I have these 1-inch 14 pan head screws. So I'll be driving those in. And why don't you come in here and take a quick look. Wow, a fast and easy project. Now let me get my 1632 on top of this thing. Well, what a great project. I think this has really gone pretty well. I got to say, using the Rockler system here, it only went together in about 30 minutes. The tabletop took a little bit longer than that. Couple things about these. Now, I like the way it went together. I think it's a little higher than I may have wanted, but it's okay. The casters are double locking, but the problem with casters is they, instead of having a metal toggle on them to lock them, they're plastic. So I don't know about the longevity. The wheels seem kind of cheap. I don't know. I paid $50 for 4 of them, so maybe that's okay. But we'll see. I think long term, I don't think it's going to last. I'll have to replace them at some point with something better. But they're good for I'd say 4 or 5 years, maybe 6, depending how much I move this around. And I got to say, I like it. It gives me a work spot now for my Performax 1632 Plus, and I tell you what, this is going to be great because now I have easy access to it. It was kind of hiding in the corner on my sander bench, or my sander cart over here. And now I also have a place for my sander again. I got that back, so that's pretty cool. Overall, fun little project, all right? I'd highly recommend these. I think there's a lot of things you can do. If you have a hacksaw, you can modify it to drop it a little bit lower if that's what you want to do. This will work out for me. I may do that later, but we'll see. And hey, hope you got something out of this. And if you did, do me a favor, hit like and subscribe. You can go down to the bottom, all right, hit more. You can find some of the tools and things that I use. Matter of fact, I'll see if I can put a link to this little bench here from Rockler, so you can ping on that if you want to. And hey, folks, until next time, good making.